opens a beautiful new memorial to honor veterans, but see why some believe there's something missing. Plus, a trip to Champlin to meet a homeowner who maintains not one, not two, but count them 12 gardens. But first, how the National Park Service and Brooklyn Park want to turn the Mississippi River into a more accessible attraction.
We want people to get out and explore nature and support nature.
12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. Along the Mississippi River, there is a national park just a few minutes drive from anywhere in the Northwest Metro.
And as Mike Johnson reports, planners are working on a way to combine canoes and bikes so more people can experience the river area without the use of a car.
Just downriver from the turbulent Coon Rapids Dam, there's miles of calmer water and natural scenery.
Not a whole lot of people get to come down here and see this kind of wildlife and get to experience it, and there's a lot of eagles and stuff out here.
Local officials say it's an underused resource that could be a regional attraction.
I think it's not very used for what it could be. You think about under punching, and this area is a beautiful area.
It's part of a 72-mile-long park called the Mississippi National River and Recreation Area, a park that most people simply drive by, not realizing it's even there.
What they don't know is that there is a stretch of the Mississippi River that's a national park in the Twin Cities, which is in your backyard.
Now, Brooklyn Park, Three Rivers Parks, and the National Park Service are all eyeing the stretch of water with ideas to help people get closer to nature.
How can we get kids and even adults into some of these activities that are out in nature, like mountain biking, kayaking, canoeing, and this may be one of those spots that people come to get introduced to it.
The National Park Service is working on a proposal for a canoe and bicycle sharing service covering several segments of the river.
Well, I see them being able to go to a park with minimal hassle and get in a canoe, swipe a card, get on the river, take it to a next stop, get off, and either depart at that point or ride a bike back.
Susan Overson says they've been focusing on 3 canoe and bicycle stations above the Coon Rapids Dam, but Brooklyn Park may also be included in the planning.
Based on the interest that we're getting, it looks like if we could find the funding, we would like to also include 3 stations below Coon Rapids Dam.
There's still money and logistics to be worked out, including what side of the river may be best suited to the project. But Mayor Lundy says the National Park Service's plans look like a good fit.
We want people to get out and explore nature and support nature, because if they're not in it, they tend to not appreciate it.
Mike Johnson, 12 News.
Park Service officials hope to have a pilot project up and running somewhere along the river by next summer.
The 3-year-old Brooklyn Park boy who was found wandering along a busy street Thursday has been reunited with his family. The youngster, known as Mikey, was spotted near the intersection of West Broadway and 84th Avenue North wearing only a diaper. Police say it was the result of a miscommunication between Mikey's mom and her boyfriend. Both of them thought the other had the boy. Police say it was an accident and no charges will be filed.
I think the takeaway for people is remember to have good communication between yourself and whoever's watching your kid, to know who's watching them. And then, this happens a few times a year where you got to be attentive to where your toddlers are, because toddlers will sneak out of the house, and it's something we all have to be aware of.
Brooklyn Park Deputy Police Chief Mark Bruley says Mikey was returned to his family Thursday night from Child Protection, and that Hennepin County investigators came to the conclusion that this is a good family.
There's more road construction to contend with this weekend. The good news, at least for Highway 100, it only affects drivers during the overnight hours. Both directions of Highway 100 will close between I-394 and Crosstown Highway 62. The closures are from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. both tonight and Saturday night. Construction crews will be working on the Minnetonka Boulevard Bridge. The christening of the new Vikings stadium is just 1 year away, but there are approximately $15 million in disputed construction costs. The question is, who will pick up that tab? Golden Valley-based Mortenson Construction has requested mediation regarding the costs. Mortenson also filed for arbitration as a backup in case mediation fails. The $1.1 billion U.S. Bank Stadium is being built on the old Metrodome site in downtown Minneapolis.
At the end of June, the city of Plymouth dedicated a new monument to honor veterans for their service. But now some veteran groups say there's something missing. The veterans want to see the POW MIA flag represented at the Plymouth Memorial site. The site currently includes 5 flags to represent the 5 branches of the military, plus the American flag. There's also a monument with room for 1,400 veterans' names on it. Plymouth City's manager says the issue was brought to their attention right after the dedication this summer, and the City Council does plan to take up the issue Tuesday night.
It's obviously a very passionate issue, and we appreciate that. So I think the council will take a look at that and weigh in on how they feel about it and take care of that issue next week.
A decision is expected after Tuesday's meeting. The city manager says it wouldn't be difficult to fly the Prisoners of War Missing in Action flag at the site underneath the American flag. A group of students and adults took a trip this summer that they will likely never forget.
Cornerstone Church in Crystal has a long-standing relationship with the community in Honduras. And this year, students from the Robbinsdale Spanish Immersion School wound up using their Spanish skills to translate. Cornerstone Church's annual mission trip to Honduras delivers much-needed school supplies and plenty of smiles.
Help and do Vacation Bible School. We bring down teacher supplies and school supplies to help the kids, and just basically spend time with the kids and love them and have a great time.
Christy Michelli has gone 5 times, and as a teacher at Robbinsdale Spanish Immersion, her background in Spanish and education is important.
I always ask the teachers, what do you need? And then I try real hard during the year to find what they need and bring that down.
This year, some of the kids going on the trip also attended Robbinsdale Spanish Immersion.
When I said hello to them in Spanish, they're like, oh wait, you speak Spanish?
And their Spanish skills came in very handy as they helped with Vacation Bible School and other projects.
I was translating a lot for other people because there was only 5 of us that knew Spanish.
It was amazing. Like, we don't speak Spanish at home, so to see her using it to her fullest potential was really awesome.
Parents and students called the experience rewarding and one they'll remember for some time to come.
The loving kids and how excited they are for us to be there, and that they will never forget us being there.
This is the 11th year Cornerstone Church has sponsored a mission trip to Honduras. Coming up, a trip to Champlin to visit a true master gardener.
And then a little bit later in sports, Maple Grove's VFW baseball team looks to take another step towards a state tournament title.
But first, a bit muggy this weekend, but all in all, not that bad. Managing multiple gardens is no easy feat, especially when the gardens have different conditions, ranging from sun to the shade.
Master gardener Bunny Carlson has 12 different gardens at her Champlin home. In this week's edition of In the Garden, she showed reporter Sonia Goins how she maintains them all.
The thing of it is, I like to have something blooming every month.
Walk up to Bunny Carlson's house and you could immediately see the curb appeal.
So this is the wax Japanese bells. It's a shade plant, so this is on north side, so you really got to think shade, and to have color with shade sometimes can be difficult.
The front yard is filled with a mixture of hostas and other perennials.
My favorite thing is the pink diamond hydrangea tree.
The long-lasting blooms turn from white to pink.
She gets the beautiful 2-panicle white flowers, and then in the fall it turns bright fuchsia.
The side garden has a mixture of sunny and shady plants, like this sunny blue veronica.
But it's usually a whole stem of purple, and the bees, you can see, are just loving it.
Bunny says working with different environments can be challenging. She uses hostas and phlox in this area.
One of the tricks is nice is to do a triangle of 3 of things, and it just looks a little more cohesive.
Bunny is a member of the Binding Roots Gardening Circle.
This is very therapeutic for me. I also like to make things look beautiful. That's probably why my first job is I'm a hairdresser, and I love making people look beautiful.
She sometimes spends 8 hours in a day working on her plants.
Now this is one I put in every garden when people have children, because look at this. It looks like a hot air balloon.
You'll find some common and not so common plants in her garden.
Then over here is peach flambe. This is probably one of my favorites.
Bunny says anyone can create a garden. She recommends keeping it simple in the beginning.
You would start with a small section always, 10 by 10 area. Generally takes, they say, an hour of work a week.
Consistency is also key.
Do some repetition. I usually recommend using the same plant every 6 feet, because then your eye likes that cohesiveness and it's real happy with that.
Bunny says the best thing about gardening is being outside, taking in the very best of Mother Nature.
Feeling at peace and calm and enjoying, that's part of nature, is enjoying the beautiful things that we were given.
For In the Garden, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Bunny also recommends taking a picture of your favorite gardens and then use that as a template for your own garden. Coming up, combining the outdoors with theater.
But first in sports, we'll look ahead to the prep football season and some changes for this fall. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. John's here now with sports, and Maple Grove's VFW's baseball team pretty strong this year.
2 games, 2 wins so far in the state tournament, going well down in New Ulm. Maple Grove's VFW baseball team won the state tournament 2 years ago. Only Bubba Horton is back from that team, and this weekend it's a different group of players trying to bring home a VFW title. Maple Grove taking on Starbuck in the second round at Johnson Park in New Ulm. Top of the first, Jerry Gooley gets the strikeout. He works a no-hitter through the first 5 innings of play. And he gets plenty of run support. Caleb Gates' blooper lands on the line and scores Nathan Mortenson in the bottom of the first. Bottom of second, Jensen Erickson drops a hit into left field. And this one will score Joshua Tyler with a run. Bottom 3, the Crimson work a perfect hit and run. Curtis Haugen singling through the hole to bring around Luke Hansen for a 4-0 lead. And Haugen will come home on Martinson's hit to center field, and Maple Grove is in control in this one. 4th inning, Haugen drives a shot to the gap, and this hit will score Hansen with another run. It makes it 7-0 Maple Grove. Gooley tosses a 2-hitter and strikes out 5. Maple Grove wins 7-0, and they advance on to the semifinals. Maple Grove plays again Saturday at 10 a.m. against Grand Rapids. Wayzata's American Legion baseball team is facing Eden Prairie Friday at 5 p.m. at the Central Plains Regional in Bismarck, North Dakota. Both tournaments continue through the weekend. The new U.S. Bank Stadium is still going up downtown, so for a second straight season, the Prep Bowl will be played outside at TCF Bank Stadium. And because the Gophers have home games the final 2 Saturdays of November, the Prep Bowl is scheduled for November 13th and 14th for the season only. It means practice starts this Monday for teams across the state. It's an abbreviated practice schedule too. Instead of nearly 3 weeks before the first games, this year there will be less than 2. Teams' first games will be played on Saturday the 22nd. One local coach we talked to recently said it's a big change for both players and coaches this season.
We've lost our scrimmage week, and that's a big change. I think, yep, they've changed fall camps to 2 practice, then 1 practice, 2 practice, then 1 practice, but the bigger change is we have a game in 2 weeks, and that's a major difference. And so we're trying to get our kids at least mentally ready so that when they get there, they can practice, because they don't have a lot of time from game day.
That scrimmage week Coach Lombardi talked about usually comes the second Saturday after practice begins. With those scrimmages eliminated for this year, you can expect play to be a little less crisp for the first games of the season.
Oh, absolutely, because that first scrimmage usually looks pretty ugly. It's a pretty ragged thing, and then usually after the scrimmage you and then the first game looks pretty good, but we don't have that luxury this year. So it's that opening week we play Osseo, and they're 2 great teams, and Lammy does a great job, and I know there'll probably be a lot of ups and downs in it because there's going to be a lot of mistakes on each end. I guarantee it, because it's that first week. So we look forward to the challenge, but it is a definite challenge that we face.
And we'll have the first of our prep training camp reports early next week here on 12 News. Another change for this year, and this one is not temporary, is district scheduling. Gone are conferences in football, with teams now grouped geographically. 16 teams are in the West Metro District, meaning all of each team's opponents for the regular season comes from this pool of 16. The local teams in the West Metro are Champlin Park, Hopkins, Maple Grove, Osseo, Totino Grace, and Wayzata. Among the other 16 teams include Anoka, Eden Prairie, and Minnetonka. The 16-team suburban district includes 4 area schools, including Armstrong and Cooper. The Hawks and Falcons play each other this fall for the first time in several years. Benilde St. Margaret's and Park Center also landed in the suburban district. Chaska, De La Salle, and Spring Lake Park are among the other teams in that district. Smaller enrollment schools make up the 28-team Twin City district. Brooklyn Center plus Blake, Breck, and Providence Academy are all in that district. Also, West Lutheran High School in Plymouth is in District 9 South with Southern Minnesota teams. So it'll be all starting up on Monday, and then the other high school sports will begin their practices on Monday, August 17th.
All right, so here we go.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, enjoying classic theater outdoors in New Hope.
We'll preview the production of Oliver next in Weekend Showcase. Catch a classic performance while enjoying the outdoors this weekend at New Hope Outdoor Theater.
And Neil Persley has more on the production of Oliver in Weekend Showcase.
Off-Broadway Musical Theater presents another wonderful classic at the New Hope Outdoor Theater this year as they stage Oliver. Ben Sanford of Plymouth plays Oliver Twist.
He starts off in an orphanage, which they treat him awfully, and he escapes, and basically his whole goal is to find someone like the mother figure that will care for him and truly care about him.
Oliver is sold by the orphanage headmaster, Mr. Bumble, as an apprentice to an undertaker who also treats him badly. After Oliver escapes the undertaker, he meets the artful Dodger, who introduces him to Fagin, played by Tom Ringdahl.
Fagin is a kindly gentleman who takes kids off the street and gives them a place to live and a family and a profession and things to drink. And granted, the things to the roof over their head is a den of thieves, and the things they eat is moldy sausages, what they drink is gin, and the profession is picking pockets, but still, I'm a nice guy.
Oliver finds friendship in unusual places, and his search for family and acceptance are ultimately rewarded.
Eventually, through his stages in life, ends up being a great kid and finds great people in the end, and yeah, it's pretty touching.
The performances are free, but Off-Broadway Musical Theater is asking for a donation of $4 per person to help offset the costs of this full production. They're also encouraging that patrons bring a non-perishable food item to be donated to the local food shelf. For Weekend Showcase, I'm Neil Persley, 12 News.
And Oliver runs through Saturday. All performances begin at 8 o'clock. Due to the construction at New Hope City Hall, the entrance to the theater is off of 42nd Avenue north on Zealand. Turn right on the temporary drive into the city parking lot. Should be a good weekend for that. Truly enjoy the summer this weekend.
That looks like a good one.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Community Corner is coming up next.